Hey guys, Seth from Markham Men's Breakfast Club here with just a random video. Here happens to be Black Mountain, North Carolina. I am at Ridgecrest Conference Center. It's a Christian-owned resort center. They have hotel rooms, they have conference venues, trails, places for churches to just bring their groups to do like organizational retreats. This weekend I'm here with the Women's Missionary Union, a women's ministry in the state that my wife is a part of, and I am on one of their committees. Kind of just got sucked into it because Allison is has a big role here, and so I thought it would be a good opportunity to come. They have their annual business meeting here, and just to see what the organization is all about. The reason I tell you this is so I was here last night. Came down. I stayed in this room last night, and this morning I was cleaning up my backpack because I was going to be carrying it all day, and I didn't want to have extra stuff in there. And I carry around with me at school a box of Goodies headache powder. For those of you that have never had it before, it's basically just Tylenol tablets that are ground up, and they mix in caffeine, and you mix it into some water and take a sip, and it's works really, really fast to help a headache. But they come in, it almost looks like it's a box that has little packages of paper, and the packages of paper look like a gum wrapper, but just paper. And then inside is the powder. And it's a white powder. Now, if you don't know what it is, you would think it was drugs. And it turned out this morning when I was rummaging through my backpack that my box had spilled out all of the little packages of drug-looking things. And so I pulled them out and I threw them on the bedside table to deal with later. And when I came back, I wasn't expecting for the Ridgecrest staff to come in, the Christian staff, to come into my room and organize everything. They made my bed, did some other stuff, and so I just can't imagine. I can't imagine what was going through the head of the staff when they came into my room and saw this on my nightstand. I wish I could have been here for that. So that's fun. That happened today. Another thing I want to share with you is yesterday, Friday, one of my wife's students brought a book for my wife, but she wasn't there, so she gave it to me. And it's just like a 5-page small booklet, paperback, and it is The Gift of the Magi. And what I didn't know, this is full disclosure, I didn't realize that this is a story that was written within the last 150 years. Growing up, I've heard of the Gift of the Magi. You think Magi, you think biblical. I've always had the sense that it's a much older story than it is. This was written in 1905 by O. Henry from Greensboro, North Carolina, I think. Fact check me on that. And so I read through this, and first of all, it's just fascinating. The language is fascinating. He writes in a very good style. It's not surprising that the story became as popular as it did. But what I didn't realize is that the story itself is pretty much told from one perspective. It's talking about Della and Jim, Della being the wife, Jim being the husband, and it's told from Della's perspective about how she has tried for months to save up money for her husband and has only managed to scrounge together $1.87 because her husband only gets paid $20 a week, and $8 of that goes to their rent. And so she sells her hair. And when he arrives home, he sees her with a short haircut and is taken aback and shocked. And she says, "It's okay. Please love me. I promise it'll grow back. Please, still think that I'm beautiful." And he hugs her and says, "Of course you're beautiful." But then he gives her her gift, which is the comb, the gold comb that she has wanted. And it's not until the very last paragraph. He's just been given the watch chain that he has for his gold watch, the gold watch that was his grandfather's watch, that he says to his wife, "Dell, let's just put the Christmas presents away and keep them for a while. They're too nice to use at the present. I sold the watch to get the money to buy your combs. And now suppose you put the chops on, cook some pork chops." And then it actually explains why the story relates to the gift of the Magi, or how it relates to the Magi. And it is biblical, but basically talking about how it's wise to give gifts that are sacrificial. It's wise to give gifts that show just how much that you love somebody, as is given as an example in the story. And so that answers my question as to what the Magi have to do with it. O. Henry thought of that. It also answers, it doesn't answer anything else, but I just really thought that it's just a very interesting story. It's an incredibly short read. I thought it was interesting that he tells the story only from the one perspective, and that it's a much more of like a cliffhanger or surprise ending to find out that he sold the watch than the way that it's told, like the way that my dad told it. Typically we tell it the husband sold his watch to buy the comb for his wife who cut off her hair. It's just there's much more suspense built into it. I'm sure you can find it online if you can and check it out. It was good. I enjoyed reading it. I just thought it was funny that the student brought it for my wife who wasn't there, and she gave it to me to give to her, and I'm like, what is this? Oh, the gift of the Magi. Hey, we just talked about that. If you want to see us talking about that, check out Mark Woodman's Breakfast Club episode 13. Last thing I want to show you guys is a Yabo in reference to Mark Woodman's Breakfast Club episode 17, which was not the one that aired this week, but the one that aired last week. So I bought this package. It has a hole in it, arrived that way. I haven't opened it. This came as a recommendation from Ben on YouTube. Snuff Begins, look him up. And he hunted this down for me. This is a POGS set. It actually is 2 POGS sets. It was Hardy's that has the Apollo 13 POGS. And this should be 2 complete sets of not only the slammers, but also the POGS that came with those. So I'm going to open this up. I'm just going to use this hole they've already cut. I remember these POGS. Oh my goodness. I remember, and here they are. They don't look like they're new in bag because they're kind of stapled together. But they're new-ish. They don't look like they've really been played with. I'm going to open. I bought them to play with them, so I'm going to open them just to show them off. Here's the countdown instructions on how to play. And here are just a couple of the POGs. And when you got them, you would get a couple in a pack. And it does say, look at this, 1995 Hardy's Food Systems. So they came from Hardy's from 95. Gosh. And so when you got them, you wouldn't get all of them. So the backs of them are numbered. And of course you had to try to collect them all. Oh, cool. So here's one of the slammers. I never had this one. This is silver, Apollo 13. On the back is there's some horses. Ex Luna Scientia. Horses jumping over the moon, I guess. I don't get it. Here's one of the foil cards. Those are fancy. Those are always fun to have. A lot of these are just planets and pictures of ships. Here's the same logo, but on a foil POG. Now, the POGs are just cardboard. These look like they've never been played with. I don't know if these were an original pack or what. Ben, this was an excellent find. Thank you for finding these. The shipping was more than I wanted to pay. The POGs themselves were $4. And so it said shipping was $6, but when I went to confirm my bid, it said shipping was free. So I was like, oh, well then give me 2 packs. And then once I confirmed the bid, after it was too late to change my mind, turns out the shipping was $6. So I paid $15 for these, but that's okay. They're cool. So here is Apollo 13. This is the blue one. I think I put a picture in the thing about it, but this is the one I remember from my childhood. The back is the moon, and its textured surface is really, really cool. I'm excited to have these. I I'm excited to get together some friends and play. Because I have 2 sets, I have 4 slammers now. And again, this was the best slammer I ever had for a POG match. I don't know why. It's lightweight. You wouldn't think it would work, but it flips the POGs. And you know, if you're playing for keepsies, you get to keep the POGs that flip over. So thank you again to Snuff Begins to Ben. What a great find. I'm very, very happy about these. So it's just a late night random update video. Hope you guys are doing well, and look forward to seeing you Wednesday morning for Marco Men's Breakfast Club. Good night.